Samantha and Michael had been dating for 3 years and were madly in love. They had talked about getting married in the future and everything seemed perfect between them. However, as their relationship progressed, so did their arguments. One day, Samantha and Michael were discussing their future wedding plans when things took a turn for the worse. Samantha wanted a small, intimate ceremony with just close family and friends, while Michael wanted a big, extravagant wedding with all of their acquaintances invited. The argument quickly escalated, with both of them raising their voices and pointing fingers at each other. "You always want things your way, Samantha. Can't you see that I want to share our happiness with everyone we know?" Michael shouted. "And you never listen to what I want, Michael. This day is supposed to be about us, not about showing off to everyone we know," Samantha retorted. The argument went on for hours, with neither of them willing to compromise on their wedding vision. Finally, Samantha stormed out of the house in tears, refusing to talk to Michael. Days turned into weeks, and Samantha and Michael's relationship grew strained. They barely spoke to each other, and when they did, it was only to argue about the wedding. Eventually, Samantha decided that enough was enough and she asked Michael to meet her at their favorite park to talk. As they sat down on a bench, Samantha took a deep breath and looked into Michael's eyes. "I think we need to talk about us, Michael. This constant fighting isn't healthy for either of us," she started. Michael nodded, his heart sinking. He knew where this conversation was heading. "We've been together for 3 years, and I love you more than anything in this world. But I can't keep living like this, always arguing and never seeing eye to eye," Samantha continued. Michael's eyes welled up with tears as he realized what Samantha was about to say. "Are you breaking up with me?" he choked out. Samantha nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I think it's for the best, Michael. We're both too stubborn to compromise, and I don't want our marriage to be filled with constant fighting and resentment." Silence filled the air as Michael processed Samantha's words. He felt like his world was crashing down around him. He had envisioned a future with Samantha by his side, and now that dream was slipping away. Finally, Michael spoke up, his voice trembling. "I still love you, Samantha. And I always will. But if this is what you think is best for both of us, then I won't stand in your way." Samantha reached out and took Michael's hand, squeezing it tightly. "I'll always cherish the memories we made together, Michael. You were my first love, and that will never change. But we both deserve to be happy, even if that means being apart." With a heavy heart, Michael stood up and pulled Samantha into a tight hug. They both knew that this was the end of their relationship, but they also knew that it was the right decision for both of them. As they said their final goodbyes, tears streaming down their faces, Samantha and Michael knew that their love for each other would never truly disappear. But sometimes, love isn't enough to make a relationship work, and they both needed to move on and find happiness in their own separate ways. And as they walked away from each other, a part of them will always wonder what could have been if they had just learned to compromise and communicate better.